Hello guys, welcome to another session. Today we'll be discussing the toppers answer sheet. Okay, so we had fortunately we could come across one of the cent% scorers of last year's board exam, one of that student's papers. So we'll be looking through that. We'll have a quick glance at that answer sheet. Okay, so we'll get we'll get some important ideas as to how to write the board exam and score optimum marks. Okay, so the toppers answer sheet discussion. A very warm welcome to you all. This is your DMG. So proceeding. So the front page, so some of you have already written the first exam, so you all know how you're supposed to write the important instructions. Moving on. Yeah, part A. Okay, part A will be, we discussed this before, part A will be for 20 marks, right? 10 mark MCQs. So the candidate has written the 10 1 mark MCQs. Options along with the answers is what the candidate has written. I would suggest the same for you guys as well. You have enough time, okay? You have enough time, 2 hours and 45 minutes is enough time to write the answers, okay? Unlike your core subjects, okay, say accountancy or commerce subjects or science for that matter, English would take far less time. So 2 hours 45 minutes is ample time to write. So write the options along with the answers. It makes evaluation a lot easier, okay, for the evaluator. It makes the evaluator's correction work also a lot easier. So write the option along with the answers, okay? Moving on. The 11th question, that is passive forms of the verb. So here also you can see that the candidate has written the passage along with the answers. If time permits, do the same, okay? I'm not saying you should compulsorily do that. If time permits, do the same. Yeah. So the passage along with the answer. 12th question, you can see idiomatic expressions, okay? Again for 2 marks. Here also the candidate has written the passage, that is a question along with the answers. 5th question, match the following. Match the noun phrase to the pronoun. So you don't have to waste your time writing the passage. You can see that the question in column A is matched to the correct answer in column B. So it's written accordingly. Okay, moving on, part B. Let's see how part B has been written. Part B, the 14th question, again, one word. You're supposed to answer in one word or a sentence. So here you can see that the student has written accordingly. He or she has written only one word answer or answer to the point. Because each of these questions carry only 2 marks, you need to do only the same. You don't have to waste your time on 2 markers. Okay. So the 3 mark questions, again, so roughly 1 paragraph, okay? So half a page is all it takes to write a 3 mark question. But most importantly, 3 mark and 4 mark question, underline the most important part of your answer, okay? If you see this student's answer sheet, you will know why. Evaluation becomes a lot easier when you underline the most important part of your answer, okay? Now you may write half a page of the answer, but the evaluator, having very limited time, will not be able to read your whole answer. So it helps to a great extent if you underline, okay? Here also you can see that the important part of the answer is underlined, okay? Makes evaluation a lot easier. 19th question also the same. You don't have to write it, the answer does not necessarily have to be so lengthy, okay? Half a page will do. Anyways, you can see that important words, important part of the answers are underlined. Important terminologies, Earth University, Earth Democracy, Vandana Shiva, the lesson, Navdanya Farm, important words, okay, are underlined, okay. Moving on. 23rd question and 23rd question also. 19th. Yeah. So you can see again, the important part of the answer is underlined. 24th question is the 4 marker, okay? 4 marker, you can see the student has written almost a page, yeah. 3/4 of a page will do, depends again on your handwriting, okay? So again, important part of the answer is underlined, okay? Twenty-fifth question and 27th question. Yeah. So notice one more thing. Nowhere is the student writing the summary of each of the lesson. What you people tend to do, when the question comes, you just write the whole summary of the lesson, the chapter of the poem. That is not what you're supposed to do. Now in this question, 27th question, what is the question? Okay, describe or talk about how Don Gonzalo and Don Alora lied to each other, the stories that they spun. So what did the student do? He wrote 2 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, he talked about Don Gonzalo and the false story that he narrated. In the second para, he narrated about, he wrote about, or he or she wrote about the imaginary story that Donna Laura narrated to Don Gonzalo. So only to the point. He did not explain anything further. You also need to do only the same. You don't have to unnecessarily write the summary. Okay, just write to the point and underline the important part of the answer. Moving on. 29th question, again a 4 marker. And part C. Part C is reading comprehension. You'll be having an unseen prose or passage. Okay. So again, 1 mark, 1 word answers is what is expected. The candidate, the student has written to the point, has written only the answers. Part D, the grammar part. Okay, and some of you do have, some of you did express your doubts, concerns about writing or question. You can write both, okay? Evaluator will correct both, and in whichever of the 2 questions you get the more marks, that will be awarded accordingly. Here also you can see the candidate has written both A and B, okay? One of the 2 will be corrected, and both will be corrected, out of which, whichever question you get the more marks, that will be awarded, or that will be considered. 32nd question is again a 2 mark question. Question tag and framing the question. Again the or question. 33rd is the note making question. So you can see that the student has written the chart also with the answer. Okay, if time permits, you can draw this chart, and it'll look good if you draw the chart and write the answer. Then again, if you are studying, if your preparation is to be getting 80 on 80, getting optimum marks, then it would be better if you write the answer accordingly. Okay. 34th question, the reported speech question. So some of you asked if you can write it, you can write each conversation separately. You can write like that also. Okay, in this question, it is a conversation between Alifano and Borges. So you can report each of the conversations separately if you want, or like the candidate, like the student wrote, you can club it all together and write as one single paragraph. Okay. Yeah, and the dialogue writing question, 3 marker, and yeah, you should underline the part which is the answer. Okay, the question is also written along with the answer, and underline, the answer is underlined, so you can do the same. 36th question, letter writing. Most of you had your concerns with respect to letter writing. From address, it should be 3x 3y or 4x 4y. The disclaimer would be given in the question itself, so follow the same. Okay, so along with the letter, okay, the next part of the letter is not given, but when you're writing the letter, you should also make sure that the resume is also there in the letter. Okay, the resume also should be attached, or resume should also be written. Okay, yeah. So that's it. So this is how you present your answers. Okay, so presentation is one thing, so knowledge is another. So now I hope you got a rough idea of how you need to be writing your answers, presenting them, especially part B. Okay, keep in mind that you have to underline the important part of your answers. Okay, so that makes evaluation a lot easier. And if possible, if time permits, for the grammar questions, write the question along with the answers also. Okay, especially passive voice, passive form of the verb, idiomatic expression, dialogue writing, etc. Questions like this, try writing the question also along with the answer. Okay, so that will make sure that you get optimum marks once the exam is done. So all the best, prepare well. We'll meet hopefully for another video.